everybody. Welcome in. Slam, thank you for becoming a member. Look at Mike playing with his toys already. Welcome in, Tim. Hello, Yella, John, Ethan, and Don. And Don again. Hello. Hello. Nice to see you.
Hi, everyone. How you doing?
Hi, Jeff.
Happy Sunday.
Everyone's eager today. Everyone's already ready.
No. Slamister's in green now.
I
Thanks,
know.
Slamister.
Member status, which is nice. You get a nice little badge.
I actually haven't seen some of these pictures yet, by the way.
Haven't you?
No, I haven't seen them all.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, in case you have been asleep for the past, 2 months that we've been talking about this, some of the crew got to go to MCM this weekend. So I'm just going to pass over to Mike to tell you all about it, because he was there and I wasn't.
Yes! So... well, first of all, massively missed you all weekend, Jarvis.
Missed
really,
you too.
Really missed you. So yes, we've just come back. Well, I've just come back from MCM Comic Con in London. It's still going on today. Honestly, 2 days was enough. And if you've never been before, it is a kind of a 3-day Comic Con convention, expo hall, artist alley. It's absolutely mammoth. I'd never been before. I usually do stuff like TwitchCon, and Insomnia, that kind of thing. I've never done EGX either, and that's kind of like similar size, but I think it was half the size as
it was
MCM
rubbish.
was.
It was a lot smaller this year.
Yeah, 2 massive halls. Honestly, my feet are sore. I'm so glad to be home. My cat is so glad to be home as well. I'm glad to see Tim is also playing with models like I do. So I've got some XL models on the way, and my first batch has arrived. Now, Voyager is the one that I very much wanted. I should have got the Enterprise E as well, but I've been sent the wrong one. So I'm currently disputing that with them and trying to get the right one. So we'll see when that comes.
He's very sad.
Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad. And yes, big, massive shout out to Slamister in chat as well, because not only is he a friend of mine and a mod on my Twitch channel, but he was there on the Friday with me and was hanging out with all of us Trek Central bunch, and very patient, walking around with me, looking at all the things, and was there taking some pictures of the quiz. Thank you, Slamister. I really appreciate you. You're a legend. So yeah, Friday we had our sci-fi quiz. So we were talking to MCM, or Jarvis was talking to MCM, and then kind of the conversation came around with, we'd love a sci-fi quiz. You can run that. It was also the first time I had ever gone anywhere in a Starfleet uniform. I've always got purple hair anyway.
It's literally
so
Boimler.
I was like, I'm a natural Boimler. And so you'll see on the Trek Central Twitter, the _Trek _Central.
No, it's just at the Trek Central.
Okay, at the Trek Central, you'll see lots of pictures of me in a Starfleet uniform, Boimlering up. I had so many people walking past me going, Boimler! It was amazing! Growing up, being a nerd or a Trekkie is not cool. I still very much feel like being a Trekkie is not cool, but I felt cool walking around this, or I felt comfortable,
I love that.
I even felt comfortable walking between the convention and the hotel just in my Starfleet uniform, pop in the top button, off duty, that kind of thing. Brad, next time, we've been talking, we definitely want to do something again.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna
luckily, Brad,
make it our mission to do them. The Trek engagement.
Because the thing is as well, I just very luckily got to know a couple of the people who work at the organisation that run MCM and EGX over the last few years, and they're such lovely people. And when I mentioned that I was at Trek Central, they lost their mind. They were really excited about it because they know just how big the Trek fandom is, and the whole Comic-Con stuff basically started because of Trekkies, and they were really excited about it. So basically, anytime we want to get involved, they're up for us getting involved. So yeah, it's exciting.
And I think the attendance for the quiz and the panel really showed that. There was so much engagement. They loved my brand of humor and the way that I run a quiz and stuff.
Awesome.
They really warmed it. They loved it. There was so much interaction. I'm gonna make it harder next time, and I also need to be meaner with the team captains, particularly Jack, who kept cheating.
Oh, do you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
he cheated. I don't know.
I know.
He's cheeky. He's a cheeky lad, is our Jack.
Jack forgot the mugs, so I'll get mine. Probably TJ said she'll sort it out at Christmas, but TJ did give me a Starfleet badge, but it's not here. It's in the next room. So, amazing. Like I felt comfortable. I felt happy, and just walking around. I did feel like there wasn't that much Star Trek stuff. There were few and far between kind of Trek cosplayers. There were more on the Saturday. And on the Saturday in particular, I was going around taking a lot of pictures of people for social media. So a lot of the Twitter pictures of people in uniform that we tweeted out that came from me and Dom as well. And you'll see on the screen as well, I donned my green sparkly Quizmaster's jacket.
Amazing.
And it just looked so good. And I had a T-88 with the purple stripe. I have scuffed a little bit, but I just could not put it away.
Jack really suits the Enterprise onesie as well. He really suits it. He's been talking about it for so long, and he finally gets it, and he just looks natural in it. He just looks natural.
I know, and I felt so natural in the Lower Decks uniform.
Amazing.
And we were all doing like the casual live long and prosper and stuff. So. And we've got Dom and Helen there as well. It was amazing to meet them. They were so much fun to hang around. And obviously TJ is a wonderful human being and I love her so much. So
TJ's our babe.
So yeah, amazing. So on the Saturday we held our Talking Trek panel. It was so much fun to talk about like Lower Decks, Strange New Worlds, our favorite captains, all that kind of stuff. There was so many cosplayers there. We had a Mirror Universe Vulcan, we had a Prime Vulcan,
amazing.
We had a Beverly Crusher, we had some admirals, we had just an engineer's character. We also had a Ben Sisko.
Oh, wow!
He won our little cosplay competition, and one of the prizes was an advanced copy of the Benjamin Lafayette Sisko autobiography.
Oh, really?
It was honestly, I really wanted a picture with him, but he disappeared before I could.
Oh no!
Because I was sorting the download for the quiz. I bet he was so over the moon. Like I felt like he was gonna cry. Like, we gave him this massive bag of goodies, and it was just, oh my god, like, he was so sweet, and I loved him so much.
Helen was Nurse Chapel, right? From like her original appearance. That's what.
So
Helen...
I didn't see her cosplay. I think she didn't manage to. I don't remember.
She's in one of the photos in cosplay.
I missed her if she was in cosplay then. I don't think I saw her until actually the Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't see her, unfortunately. But yeah, the attendance was great. And
you're sat next to her in the photo.
Wait. Where?
There! The one that's up there right now. That was you sat next to Helen as Nurse Chapel. But like not Strange New Worlds Chapel. Like other Chapel.
What chapel?
She sat next to you on the sofa.
What, with the red and black jumper?
No, with a brown dress and a big blonde wig.
That's Chapel?
Yeah.
What kind of Chapel cosplay is that?
It's from a specific episode.
Oh, well, that did not land in my head. I can tell you that. What was I going to say?
I threw him off his...
Yes, a disclaimer for the... Thank you, TJ. TJ just added me in Discord. Helen was Chapel from the Strange New Worlds episode, Elysian Kingdom.
There
I
you
didn't
go.
remember that bit. Thanks, TJ. I love you. Okay, I'll go back. I should rewatch that episode. I did not know that was Chapel. Anyway, so yes, a disclaimer for the panel. We completely forgot that Discovery existed. Oops! So we may get a few comments about that when we upload the content for it. But yeah, sorry guys, we just forgot. Completely forgot.
Do you realise that you did it on the 28th, which was Prodigy Day?
Yes, we did know it was Prodigy Day, yes.
That made me smile. I was
I was walking around with a t-shirt that we didn't manage to... We gave it away at the panel. We didn't manage to get anybody come find me during the day. But I love that picture of me just scanning. Honestly, every time I walked on stage, I was scanning. So it was a really, really, really awesome time. And like after our panel ended, we were just stood to the side, just chatting to all the fans. And there was a couple of sweet people. The guy in the engineering top, and there was TJ. I'll have to remind me of the show that his wife was dressed as. But they were just the most wonderful people. Aww. And they were from Kent, and they were like, "Oh yeah, when we went to school, it wasn't cool to be nerds and Trekkies and stuff." So we just had such a wonderful. And they were like so shy and so like but they felt really comfortable around us, and we'd made them come out of their shell, and they were so glad they came up to us and got photos, and it was
I
just
love that.
awesome. Had such a wonderful time, and it just yes, Matthew Perry.
Aww.
Absolute loss. I feel so heartbroken for the man. Such a troubled genius.
What I woke up to this morning was your tweet. I saw your tweet when I woke up, and I was just like, I want to go back to sleep now. I don't want to be awake today.
Heartbreaking to wake up to, but at the same time, you really just can't ignore so much heartbreak around the world at the moment. So our hearts go out to everybody suffering any kind of shit right now. So we feel for you, we support you.
Yeah, do.
But on a lighter note, I do need to show you my favorite things. Can you flip to the other screen just quickly, because you'll want
the Just Us screen?
Big. Yeah. You'll want to see these in bigger.
Okay.
That's poor English.
I knew what you meant. It's okay.
Words are hard.
I know. Okay. It's Sunday.
Right. How do you like your tea?
Builder's tea?
No.
What am I supposed to say?
Hot.
No, I'm not posh. I'm not like Picard. I like a proper cup of tea. That is cute. That is very cute.
It is very cute. Crocheted Jean-Luc Picard.
That is very cute.
That's not all.
What else have you got?
How do you like your coffee?
Oh my god! What? Show me! Ah!
She has a bun.
That's so cute.
It's a crocheted Janeway.
That's so cute.
It is amazing.
I love her so much. Oh, okay. Your boy.
My boy,
Your
Benjamin
boy.
Sisko. There was a huge table. Same Tim.
I'm a proper British girl who likes a builder's cup of tea. I no sugar, because that is a crime. But yeah.
They had a whole table of these crochet dolls, everything from Marvel to Star Wars.
Was that in Artist Alley?
It was in the main expo hall.
Oh wow!
And of course, I had to pick up a Tom Baker Fourth Doctor as well.
That is pretty cute.
So, who's central too. There was this whole, and they recreated the Wrath of Khan scene with Kirk and Spock as well, with a piece of plexiglass.
What, crocheted?
Yeah, crocheted.
Oh, amazing!
There was a crocheted 7 of 9 with crocheted boobs.
That's amazing.
There was just
Ryan, they are cute. Yeah, I agree. See, I have a lot of respect for that, because this week I got my very first Learn to Crochet kit, and it is hard as it's so difficult. Start with
the Doctor Who scarf.
That's a good one, yeah. But honestly, so difficult. I was like, oh my goodness. So I have mad respect for the people that made that. I lasted 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm in too much of a bad mood to try this. It's too difficult. I'll do it another day.
And also, there was I've seen Brad in chat mention Prodigy. There was a crocheted Murph that TJ got.
I think I did
tweet. I think my pictures of there was a Worf, there was Data, there was Tasha Yar, there was Beverly Crusher. There's a picture in Discord of the scene. There was a Q as well.
If I click on Discord,
I think my pictures are on Instagram there. And I also just want to shout out Brad. I also do drink Earl Grey tea, and I love it. Quite a few of the audience do as well. Also, Brad, I saw his Loki cosplay. President Loki cosplay looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Which, by the way, that episode was mind-blowing. If you haven't seen it,
Loki episode 4.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
I was literally, I watched it on Friday night when I got back from, because we went out to dinner twice on the Friday, Saturday, had burgers on the Saturday, a really nice steak dinner on the Friday. When I got back on the Friday, I watched Loki, and I was just on the edge of my seat the whole way through.
We do need a Moopsie. Do you know what else we need though, John?
Moopsie.
Those cute little lizards at the beginning of this week's episode. They were so cute.
The salamanders from Threshold.
Yeah, all those. But those little lizards at the beginning of this week, I was like, what is it with this season and the cute creatures that want to kill you? Because they're so cute, but they definitely want to kill you.
Moopsie.
Moopsy the Second, I think it was.
They love creating deadly Pokemon.
Yeah, they do. They do. They like, how can we make Pokemon more interesting? Make them kill you. Which really cracked me up. So, before we get in this week's episode, I'm going to switch back to the big screen a minute, turn off the slideshow, and turn on my Trek stuff. Because this, as some of you who know me will know, I'm a giant Dragon Ball nerd. Dragon Ball is my favourite thing in the world, to the point that my best friend for my birthday last week bought me a plushie Shenron. That's like, I was very... Shenron's the dragon from Dragon Ball. But anyway, someone on Twitter put this up today, and it has literally made my entire life. So Dragon Ball Z is really, really old at this point. Like, the first series of Dragon Ball Z came out years ago, and someone found this in it today. Look at the background. What is this? This is a Star Trek shuttle. NCC 1701. And it gets blown up. But that was 100% a Starfleet shuttlecraft. And another one that is part of the press. And I literally lost my mind over that. I thought that was so funny. Because, like, I don't think I've ever seen that mentioned anywhere, but it's literally got NCCC 1701-A on it. It's, like, actually a shuttle from Starfleet.
It's like the Care Bears Star Trek stuff got forgotten about too.
It's literally like
there's
the
also
best
there's
reference.
a camera crew inside of it.
Yeah, because they're filming the fact that aliens have landed on Earth in the episode, and that's why Nappa destroys it, because like they don't want to be seen or whatever. But I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really funny. Anyone else who's a giant nerd like me will also appreciate that. So I thought I'd show you. Anyway, let's. What? First of all, happy Prodigy Day for yesterday, everybody. I hope everybody celebrated that we are getting season 2 and was really happy about that. I happened to watch loads of clips. I just went on YouTube and watched loads of clips of season 1.
Are you finally watching the clips of season 2 yet?
No, I'm not. I was going to, but I think I'm going to wait until like just before and then watch them all at once so that we can talk about them.
Okay, yeah, it's because it's likely that we'll be going through that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah.
Because for those in chat who don't know, like, Jarvis hasn't been watching like the season 2 promo clips in case it doesn't get our home and we don't get it.
Yeah, because I love it so much. I stayed away from it, but I've decided I'm going to wait until we do like an episode, because we're definitely going to review it. We're definitely going to do streams on it. So I thought I'd wait until we do like our what we're expecting of the season kind of thing, and then watch it all at once. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to switch over to our Lower Decks review picture. Just because I like having visual aids, all right? I like having visual aids while we talk about the episodes.
Visual aids are good.
Oh,
a bezel.
So there we go. I know the adverts. It's how we get paid for the work we do on the website. We can't turn the adverts off. So this week's episode obviously is the penultimate episode of this season. How the frick are we there already? How did we get there that quickly? Like,
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's gone so fast. And we're here again, like, and we don't even know when Discovery's coming out yet. Like,
I know. We know it's the beginning of the year, but we don't know when. That could be any time up till like April, really, couldn't it? I've got ice in my mouth now. It just came out of the cup and into my mouth, and I'm trying not to bite it because it will hurt my teeth. So yeah, this week's episode was called The Inner Flight, obviously a reference, but that was all it was. It was just a reference. There was no, kind of like with Parth Ferengi being Garth Marenghi, there was literally no correlation.
Yeah, it was kind of purely referential to the fight that Mariner's going through.
And I believe this one was written by the show creator. Let me just double check that, and I'm not just making it up. Yeah, okay, it was Mike Mahan himself who wrote this episode, which I find very interesting, actually, because I am one of the people that I don't quite know how I feel about the Mariner of it all this week. And usually I read Jack's review, and usually I will agree that anything that Mike does, he understands these characters better than anybody. But for me, I don't know. I don't know. Like, before we get into the breakdown of it, is this a good episode for you, or a meh, or a nah?
I think it was a good episode. I am in two minds about it.
That's kind of where I am as well.
As you've alluded to, there are two camps.
Hi, Hammond. Welcome in.
Hi, Hammond. Welcome in. Hello from Lee. and down south.
Yeah, we're down south.
Well, I don't know if you want to reveal where you are. But...
I'm in Devon. Everyone knows I'm in Devon. I am a Devon girl.
I love it when Jarvis speaks Devonian.
My R's come out sometimes, and I can't help it.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of discussion about this episode, and I think it's good that there's discussion about it.
I do.
You know, I can see both sides of it. I'm in that middle ground where I'm happy overall, and I am liking what we're getting.
One thing I really liked in this episode was Freeman. I think Freeman this season in particular has become such a great captain. Like she's always been a good captain, but this season in particular, and I think we mentioned it last week as well, but she's really grown as a captain this season, and the way that her crew relate to her, the way she relates to everybody on board, she's becoming more Pike-like in that she knows everybody personally, and but
she's way less informal than Pike is.
Yeah, she's still a captain, less of a friend, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really like her, and I like, so the beginning of the episode, other than the scene with Mariner being reckless, the rest of the lower deckers are invited to talk to Freeman, who is very aware that her daughter is being ridiculously reckless. And I think, one, she's being an excellent mum, and for those two, that has not always been a relationship that has been easy, but this season we've seen a lot of growth in both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you know, in previous seasons, she would have had this confrontation with Mariner directly.
Yeah.
And she's smart enough now to know that is the absolute worst way to do it. The best way
it's going to antagonize her.
Mariner is to go through her friends, and I really love the amount of trust that Freeman is placing in Tulin, Boimler, and Tendi here.
Yeah.
To go off and do their own solo mission and try and get through to Mariner, I really love that amount of trust.
It shows that she understands how close they are as friends, and I think as a mum, not just a captain, I think that's really beautiful. Because we've seen it from Mariner's side as well. Like in the episode with the Betazoids, like Mariner was quite protective of her mum when they were in the bar scene.
Oh yeah, she's really protective.
Yeah.
You don't think I'm cool?
Yeah.
I just love it so much. Yeah, so they go off and do their own side mission. A safe kind of comms buoy repair kind of thing.
We're not Americans. Oh. It's not buoy, it's a buoy. That bugs me so much. I grew up by the seaside. They're boys. They're boys. America, why do you call them buoys? Why?
If you drink too many milkshakes, do you get boys in the yard?
Buoys in the yard. No, I hate it. It stresses me out. Yeah, Tendi has grown as well.
They've got off to do their... They've all grown. They've all grown massively.
Also, Tillin's back! I missed her!
Back.
I missed her. Ryan!
Ryan, thank you!
Thank you with that $10 super chat. That's amazing. So you're going to make a prediction for the season finale. The twist will be that it's not really Nick Locano. At some point, Locano was in a teleporter accident with Tom Paris and got Tuvixed.
Could you imagine if Tuvixing came back?
That would be
I feel
amazing.
like that was a one and done for the season.
I do too. But I do feel like they're gonna at least make a joke about the whole Tom Paris of it all, because that's
got
very...
to make a joke about it.
Yeah, that's very... Because we've already had Tom Paris in Lower Decks, and like, there's no way...
Maybe Tom Paris will come back up in the finale.
Maybe, but there's no way...
Maybe Tom Paris will... Please... We have to have them both on screen together.
That would be amazing. But there's literally no way they won't say something. Like Mariner in particular will be like, wait, hang on. Because it's too good to leave. But yeah, that's
too easy.
That cracks me up.
Really is too easy. Hi, Daka.
Hi, Daka.
Welcome in.
Nice to see you.
Thank you for stopping in. Guys, if you haven't done already, please do hit a like on the stream. It really helps Trek fans find our content, especially our live stream as well. So I guess going back to the breakdown, so they've gone off to do a relatively safe mission to try and talk to Mariner or keep her out of trouble.
And the main reason is because there's a very tempting perilous other mission that would probably put Mariner in a precarious situation. So Mom is like, we need to keep her the F away from this situation.
Because the Cerritos has been sent to find Nicholas Lucano because apparently they've deduced that the ex-Starfleet personnel are the target of this, whatever. He's one of the targets of this random ship that's been going around. Thank you for gifting a membership, Daka. Thank you so much.
Sweet. That's so sweet, Daka. Thank you. And Megan, congratulations. You're now a member of the channel, which is awesome. So you get those cute emotes that we got, which are very cute. Thank you, Daka. That's really sweet of you. But yeah, so the I just want to point out, like, when they're in the briefing room about this, and they're like, oh, it could be 7 of 9, it could be Beverly Crusher, it could be Tom Riker, and then we get Nick Lucano. I cackled. I literally cackled at that point. It's just like...
I know. But what
also,
I really loved about Tom Riker...
Yeah, he's alive.
He's alive. He survived his Cardassian prison experience.
Because we never knew what happened to him, but I think it was kind of just assumed that he would have been killed. Like, yeah,
anybody in Cardassian custody usually turns up.
And we've never heard about him since. Like, it's never been brought back up. So I like that. That gives us potential for the future. That we might get a Tom Riker appearance in Lower Decks season 5,
maybe.
Which would be
Hi,
amazing.
Jonathan, welcome in.
Hey, John!
Well, do you know what? Like, Tom Riker could even turn up in the finale.
Yeah.
He's on the list. Maybe they've already recruited him.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. What I also really love about the mention of Bev Crusher and 7 of 9 is kind of the way it links in with the wider timeline.
Yeah.
Because by this point, Beverly Crusher did leave Starfleet. She's
pregnant as well at this point.
She's pregnant and she'd vanished.
Yeah.
As far as Picard was concerned. And then obviously 7 of 9 didn't get into Starfleet. Janeway couldn't get that done, which seems really stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool to see that in the timeline.
I like Ryan's theory there. What if Tom Riker is Section 31 now? Do you know
what? That would be awesome.
There was a moment in this episode right at the beginning where there was a black shirt in the background, and I know other people have related it to Crusher's Wesley's outfit, but for me, I immediately was like, oh, why is there a Section 31 agent on board? My brain just went straight to Section 31. I was like, that's weird. Why is that good?
In this time era, they wear like those weird leather things that Sloane wore.
Yeah, I forgot that.
So, Tom Riker could be a Section 31 agent, but I don't know, because if he's come back from like Cardassian prison, I imagine there's some kind of worry that he's been broken or something.
Yeah.
That Obsidian Order, and
I do remember that, John. By the way,
anymore, of course.
Because I thought it looked like a big fat shuttle as well for a while. So yeah, I do remember you saying that. I do.
It's certainly a very odd shuttle. You couldn't really attribute it to anything particular, so they kind of kept it. They kept it generic.
They did. Yeah.
Quite surprising what happened with that. So,
Chloe.
Chloe's here. Hello, sweetie. She has not left me alone since I've got home, and I love her so much. She's so cute.
Daddy's home.
Daddy's home. So, so the Cerritos has gone off to a kind of like a backwater outpost, looking for Lucano, trying to find some data on his location.
Which looked very Star Wars, by the way.
Very, very Star Wars. It's been compared to the Star Wars Cantina, I believe. Mos Eisley Cantina.
It looked just
which
like it.
I now can't get that bloody theme out of my head. But so actually, when I was in London, when we went out to dinner on the Friday, me and Slamester went to the bar ahead of the others, and I described where we'd walked into as a Greenwich Cantina. And I was going to mention actually as well, Brad, because William Boimler has joined Section 31. You could imagine him choosing with Tom Riker. No, that his death was faked and he went into Section 31.
Yeah, okay, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, you've got that parallel. William Boimler and Tom Riker, and then Brad Boimler and Will Riker. You got those partnerships. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So Shax, Freeman, and the love of my life, Rutherford, go down to the planet, try to secure this information.
I love that they took Rutherford.
I do love it, but I don't understand why they took an engineer on an intel mission.
I just think Shax has a lot of confidence in Rutherford as a member and his intelligence. And I
think they both do. I purely think that he was taken down just so that we'd be able to track that part of the story. Like, I was like, I'm not really sure what.
No, I
maybe
liked
his
it.
implant and his, cyber memory or whatever might come in handy or something. But yeah, I was just like, I don't really know why they'd take an engineer on that mission.
I
But
took
anyway,
it as a sign of confidence in him, because he is so stupidly clever.
Yeah,
like
he is so stupidly clever.
so intelligent, and he doesn't even really understand how intelligent he is. Like, he's so humble. It's so cute.
I also just want to talk about my favorite quote from Loki episode 4. Of Casey in the background of that room when that thing happens, and he's like, "It wasn't me." I was just like, "Casey, I love you. You're so cute."
He is literally just Rutherford. It's like
he is just Rutherford.
He's the same character.
Absolutely love them both. So yeah, they're off on the planet trying to secure this intel, absolutely failing because everyone's so anti-Starfleet. And meanwhile, the Mandalorian keeps walking past them, getting into all these places. There's this really funny scene where like a Baylock alien that is like selling intel, and they think it's a puppet like in the original series.
I died.
And they realize it's a real alien. I don't know how that works with canon now, that this Baylock alien
Well,
is
I feel like maybe
alien.
they're like suggesting that the puppet was based on a real alien.
Potentially, yeah, potentially. It's
but
I
nearly cried with laughter at that point. I
so
just
funny.
died. That was pure Lower Decks in its like best ever. That really made me laugh.
It's really silly movements and like speech. Oh my god,
it's so funny, so funny. The look on its face when she was shaking it as well. I just couldn't cope with it. It was too good. It was too good.
God. Freeman was on one. It was hilarious, and I must admit, spoiler alert, Freeman's act is a ruse. I was worried it was like a reversion on her part, because she's been really smart and really clever all season.
She has, yeah.
Reversion, but no, she played it well.
She did.
Played it well. Hi Ben, Jenny, and hello, welcome to the.
She did. I agree with you. I was worried because I wasn't sure where they were going with it, and
yeah,
I was like, why is Freeman so dumb this week? Like, she's literally in Starfleet uniform. What is happening? Like, even normal missions, they usually put on the clothes of the place they're in. Like, what is happening here? But yeah, we'll come back to that point. In the meantime, we have our quad. I was going to say trio, but it's a quad.
Lower Deckers.
Fixing the boy, not buoy, and in the middle of space, and clearly poor Mariner is realizing that there is no danger here, and she is very bored and not happy about life. Her facial expressions during that really cracked me up. I will say though, like right from the beginning of this episode, I was annoyed with Mariner.
I was so frustrated with Mariner, and I knew that the reveal about what she was going through was coming up, and I was just so bored of it.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a minute, but even after we know why, I still am not cool with it. I'm still like, no, this is dumb. we have had 2 episodes this season already where she has rectified those emotions and moved on, and then we're back again, and I'm just bored of it. I'm bored of this Mariner. Like, she's not interesting like this. I have a feeling that Tawny is really over it as well. It just feels like she in herself is not having as much fun playing that the way it comes across, and I don't know. Obviously I don't know, but that to me is how it comes across. I don't know. It stresses me out, because then like the Klingon bird of prey appears, and when they're back on the shuttle, it goes to destroy them, and Tendi very quickly thinks to beam them down to the planet, which is a storming electrical storm planet. And so the Klingons think they have killed them. Don't bother to check the planet, which, and immediately we hear a loud like war cry type noise, and Mariner's like, I need to be the apex predator here, and starts shouting. And this is what pissed me off about it, is that even when Mariner is self-sabotaging, she never, until this episode, has put other people in danger. And straight away in the opening scene, some dude loses his eyes because of her recklessness. And then now she's putting the people she loves the most in the world in actual, like, death-defying danger. Like, and that is not who Mariner is. That's against who she is as a person. She loves her friends. She is so loyal to her friends that even when she hates herself the most, she would still sacrifice how she feels to look after her friends. So I feel like it was just against her as a character. I mean, what do you think? Maybe I'm being hyperbolic, but
No, I agree. Like, the whole Mariner stuff is super, super frustrating. Like, I just wish they just could have done this faster instead of waiting to the end of the season.
Yeah.
It's just been dragging on too much. Have we broken down what's happened on the planet before we get to this yet?
No.
Let's do that first, and then we'll discuss the Mariner stuff in more detail later.
Okay, you go.
So they emergency beam down to the planet. They find amongst there that there have been other members of, like, Ferengi, Orions, Cardassians, Klingons, Romulans beamed down to this planet, and sort of they're fighting to survive and kind of trying to figure out where they are, trying to escape, that kind of stuff. We also learn that these officers were beamed down to the planet by mutinies on their ships.
Yeah.
Effectively by their lower deckers and their other officers.
Which,
there have been
some hints. You were like, no, he didn't know what was happening. And I was sat there in that Ferengi episode going, look, he definitely knew what was going on. And Mike was like, no, he didn't. I don't think you're right. I was right for a change.
You were right. Okay, you were right. Yeah, it was the Ferengi, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the Ferengi, but then also the Orions kind of hinted to it as well.
They did. They did. But the Ferengi was really obvious.
Yeah. So we learned that whatever's happened to these ships, there has been some kind of mutiny. Ryan, thank you!
Ryan, you're being so generous tonight. Thank you. Yeah, I get that. I do get that.
I definitely agree that.
And we'll come back to that in a minute.
We'll come on to this, because I have some, I think we both have some thoughts and feelings about this. Like, the idea was right, the execution maybe not. But yeah, so they're on this planet. They decide to take shelter in a cave away from the others are kind of like trying to stay safe and out of the way. Mariner goes out looking for trouble, starts a fight with a Klingon. They have to hide in a cave because it's raining glass.
Knives. Yeah, glass knives.
Love that. Brilliant. I imagine there are planets where that would happen out in the universe.
Also, Mariner has been stabbed like 1,000,000 times this season at this point. Bless her.
What I like is that like she cares about making sure the Klingon does actually live. Like, she just... I think that, yes, her recklessness to other people and her endangering other people is a massive oversight to her character, but this is actually a good time where it's demonstrated that she's just fighting for the sake of fighting, but she doesn't want people to get hurt necessarily.
Yeah, she's just not
wants
thinking.
To get hurt herself. So, sorry, I've got a really itchy nose. So they go into this cave. They end up having a heart-to-heart.
Always in the shoulder.
Her trauma comes out. And it turns out that Mariner was at the Starfleet Academy with Sito Jaxa and Nick Lucano. And when Sito died, that affected Mariner deeply. When she was stationed at Deep Space Nine, when the war was on, she was deeply affected by that. Now, that I can understand.
Yeah.
She's just attributing not wanting to rank up to kind of like not
wanting to have to put other people in danger, basically.
Yeah, and she wants to stay an ensign in like a tribute to her friend Sito. So yeah, it's an interesting one because it obviously draws the episode has already drawn that reference to Nick Lucano from TNG, the First Duty. And then this draws that parallel to the Lower Decks episodes, and the follow-up, the one I forget. But,
I will say that, like, so obviously Lower Decks in itself is basically, like, exists as a concept because of the episode First Duty from Next Generation, right? So, like, the Lower Deckers as a premise was basically brought in that sort of episode. And I like that honouring of it, and I understand the Nick Lucano of it all. I have to agree with Sean Ferrick from Trek Culture, in that I felt like, why did it have to be Sito? I just, I don't, I feel like it was just a way to drop another name that people knew, and I felt like it made no sense. There was never any hint of this at any point, and it just, I don't know, it just felt,
the timelines don't work.
It felt forced, it felt weird, I don't like it. I just felt like, what? And also, so Mariner as a character in the last 4 years up until this has grown a lot. She's had a few regressions, and we've mentioned those before, but as a character, in particularly in the Betazoid episode, we see how much she has grown as a character and how much more mature she is, and her intelligence and everything. And I am somebody in real life who deals with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, so I understand trauma. I get it, and I understand that different people deal with trauma in different ways, and it isn't as easy to get over as people think it is. However, people don't usually regress for no reason. Like, if you have made that progress, unless another trauma happens, it's very rare that you regress to the state that she has regressed to. And I just feel like, especially after the episode 2, I think it was, where she was supported by her commanding officer and she got over that, and we saw that progress in her, that I feel like this is such a far regression of that same trauma that I just don't feel like it makes sense thematically. And I felt like it was not always part of the plan of her story, and they kind of just were like, oh, well, we're going to do it with Nick Lucano anyway, why don't we shoehorn this in? And that's how it came across to me.
Thank you for the $5.
Ryan, you're being so generous tonight. So generous.
So yeah, I completely agree on the regression. Like, if it had been a regression again over the season, it would have felt more natural. But nobody wanted that for her character.
Yeah.
I just having it in the 1 or 2 episodes was really frustrating. So I think it was a conscious decision it was either a conscious decision not to make it a theme through the season because they know people would hate it, and just put it in the last one, or Mike McMahon's writing was so different to the rest of the season, it just blatantly stands out.
I like what Mortimer has said about maybe it was anniversary of some kind, and if it was, that would make more sense, but they didn't say that in any way, shape or form. So like, it's kind of like if that's the reason, then tell us that's the reason, because then it would make more sense. But it just felt stupid. And as beautiful as that scene was, and like, I agree, like what Ryan said there about how like Picard's time as Locutus also comes up often, and like we saw with the other captain in Picard, and how his trauma was dealt with because of that, and it affects other people in different ways and things like that. That all felt more accurate and more timely than this does, whereas this felt like she had dealt with it and then went back on it, and it didn't have the same like flow, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely needed to either choose a different name from something more recent, because I think their TNG links are too heavy-handed. They're just too heavy-handed. Like, Nick Lucano, fine, it's Nick Lucano in 2381. We're going to find out what he's been doing over the past, 17 years, whatever. But, like, yeah, that reference was too heavy-handed. If you work out the maths, right?
Yeah, the maths.
So she went to that episode, the first duty, that happened in about 2368. This episode is taking place in 2381.
Yeah.
That would make
her like 40.
that would have been a 13-year age gap, right? That's that.
I know she's been promoted and demoted, but
like the almost the age gap between me and Captain Jack.
Yeah, and me. But the whole show has made it seem like she is maybe 1 or 2 years older than the others. Like,
well, we know she's been posted around. I think she's about 7 or 8 years older, something like that.
maybe
She
but
is clearly older because she's had like 5 previous postings, and one of them was Deep Space Nine, and she was there during the Dominion War. So,
yeah,
I think that they purely could have based her trauma on her posting at Deep Space Nine.
I
She's
agree.
referenced it before.
Yeah, we know it was
we
part
know
of
that
her
she
canon.
was there.
Yeah.
The person who died didn't even have to be
Someone we
an
knew.
existing character.
Yeah.
We would have understood that trauma perfectly fine. We would have understood that.
Yeah. It's weird. It's established that the average human lifespan in the 23rd century is 130, so it's possible to marry. Yeah, I agree.
Really good genetics.
But I just, I don't. Even her maturity levels, like, I don't see her as that age. And actually, if you look at the clip of Nick Lucano from next week's episode and you see how old he looks, and then you look at her, he looks 10, 15 years older than she does.
And her mother does look a great deal older as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dawn Lewis. You're fantastic.
But do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just felt it was weird. I mean, the scene itself was beautiful.
Yeah.
And the way that she was like, oh, we're probably going to die anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, one of us isn't going to make it out of here, so I'll just tell you. And the way that the Klingon sees the honor in her, and, like, I thought that was beautiful. I thought it was a gorgeous scene, but I just...
And then Mariner, for the rest of the episode, is great. And I love it when she hugs him, and it's so funny.
His reaction,
His reaction to being hugged. So they get out the cave. They go and confront all the different groups fighting. She calls a timeout. I love that the Orions are like, oh, Starfleet, you're worse than the Romulans.
Yeah, and the Romulans' face!
Hey!
That made me laugh a lot.
I love Romulans so much. They're so silly.
Also, Tendi made me laugh a lot in this bit as well. So the Orions are like the only ones that aren't getting on board with them all coming together. And then Tendi's in. She was like, if you go against this, you go against my family. And they obviously, because she's the mistress of the
winter constellation.
She isn't though. That's the thing. Her sister is the mistress of the winter constellation.
But you know that I think they both know that the two sisters are both fearsome, and you don't fuck with.
You don't mess with their family. But yeah, that made me laugh. Tendi, like, she uses that when it's necessary, and she cracks me up. I just adore that character. Every time she does anything, I'm just happy. I just love her. And that really made me giggle. She was very timely with it. Also, we missed this bit earlier, but when there was a fight happening earlier, Mariner wanted to get into this fight with the Cardassian, and Tillin just goes up and Vulcan nerve finishes him, and she sasses Mariner so much. So Mariner's like, I could have taken him, and she was like, I'm sure you could have tried. And I just
no doubt you would have tried.
Died. Literally, Gabrielle Ruiz is the best addition to this cast. She's just a ray of freaking sunshine, and she's so funny and just so I love her. If I could interview anyone at the moment, it would be her, because I just think she's incredible.
Could you ever have predicted that a Vulcan lower decker would have just been so perfect
and so funny? So funny. So freaking funny. She's brilliant.
Absolutely incredible.
I want a scene with her and T'Pring, because I think T'Pring's funny as frig as well. So I just want her and T'Pring together.
And of course Spock. Yeah. Oh, and now I'm just remembering, like, Mariner. You didn't tell me he was so hot. It's Spock.
Spock. Oh, bless.
Oh dear, I love it. So yeah, this is where it comes back that they do all agree to start working together, and you know, this is where they have that discussion that, you know, their crew's mutinied against them, and they form a plan, and I must admit, excellent plan.
Yeah.
So they lure the Klingon bird of prey down to the planet. It flies in, hovers really low. They jump off a very well-placed cliff on top of the bird of prey, break in, and retake the ship. But then, Mariner gets beamed away.
By the way, before that happens, that retaking of the ship was so brutal. The Klingon literally ate somebody.
Yeah, he literally ripped somebody like apart with his mouth.
And
Brilliant.
everyone in the background, if you look at their faces, they're all like, "Oh."
Yeah. Don't mess with this
so
guy. That's
funny.
for sure.
It's so
yeah,
funny.
Mariner gets beamed away, but then of course we're going back to the bounty hunter planet, the Mos Eisley Cantina, and it turns out that it's been a ruse the whole time. The Mandalorian is not Pedro Pascal; it is Chief Engineer.
Billips.
And this is the first time we've seen Billips in a while.
Yeah,
right?
we haven't seen him in ages. Last time we saw him, he had his
love
shirt
how
off.
casually. Yeah, I just love how casually he is. Huh? Happy to help.
Yeah,
like
and he
I
just
love
fixes
him.
his
He's
hair.
so nice.
He fixes his hair when he takes his helmet off, and he's just yeah, Billups is lovely. He's absolutely lovely. He's just...
I want Billups and Rutherford to get together more than I want Tendi and Rutherford to get together.
They would be cute as heck.
And I want Tendi and Rutherford to get together. So I know, Brad. That's like oh he really.
Yeah.
Whew.
I just love Billups. He's just one of those characters.
Funny, though.
He's pretty hot though. When he takes his shirt off,
yeah,
he is ripped.
I'm still obsessed with Kid Cudi.
I know you are. It's that bum.
I think Jonathan's still getting auto-corrected. We know what you mean, the Billups tubes.
The Billups tubes. We understood. Poor Jonathan.
I'm glad Brad is on board with the Billups train.
Yeah, he's lovely. He's wonderful.
There was a question in chat as well. Do we think we'll get another TNG show? I fully feel like we will get some kind of legacy show. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like they deliberately said nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't finish Picard the way they did. If they didn't believe that they could get something new off the ground afterwards.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. Jonathan, I don't know if you remember this. I don't know how old you are, but there used to be a website called Damn You Autocorrect. If you've never seen it, go onto the Wayback Machine and get it, because it doesn't exist anymore. Mate, it's the funniest website in the world. It's like when autocorrect corrects you in the worst possible way when you're talking to someone that you really don't want to say something in front of, and it... Honestly, go back to the Wayback Machine, find Damn You Autocorrect. It used to be DYAC. It's one of the funniest websites I've ever been on in my life.
Oh, I don't know. It's gonna be hard if it's gonna beat the Buffy swearing keyboard. Let's be honest. Nothing is ever gonna beat the Buffy swearing keyboard.
Oh man. It was funny. Damn You Autocorrect is good. Anyway, so yeah, that the whole reveal of Billups made me really relieved. Because I was like, oh, okay, Freeman was doing a bit. She was on board this whole time. She knows, she understands. So yeah, that made me laugh a lot. That was good. That was good.
I think that's the only time we're going to see that TNG Enterprise set again. I hope that beautiful recreation is not going to go to waste, and that's going to go off and become some kind of
museum
exhibit
or something.
Museum or experience. Obviously, I don't feel like they'd have invested in building it to the detail that they did, without that kind of use going forward.
Yeah.
We will never see the Enterprise D again like that. Definitely won't.
No.
That was nostalgia for that series only.
It was like a goodbye. That's what it felt like. It felt like a
was
goodbye.
Definitely a goodbye. Yeah.
Rick, any idea of when new Strange New Worlds is coming? We don't know when, but we do know they are working on it. It was confirmed at the New York Comic Con panel that it's definitely being worked on. At the same time, Lower Deck Season 5 was also confirmed as well. So we know both of those series have been picked up. We know that they are being worked on. We just don't know any dates yet. And I suspect we won't for a while because of the strikes.
Yeah. What we know is it's more or less written. We know that the Section 31 feature is ready to film as soon as the strikes end. But I do believe the same production crew work on Section 31 also work on Strange New Worlds. So they're not going to be able to begin shooting Strange New Worlds until the Section 31 feature finishes. I'm hoping, and I had a very long discussion with TJ about this, I'm hoping it gives them time to adjust the season 3 scripts to take into account fan feedback. TJ is definitely feeling like they're going to continue with their replacing crew with TOS people. I feel like they're gonna cut back on that a little bit. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. you know, we want this to last 7 seasons. We don't need to do it all in the first few. So
yeah, it is great news. I'm very excited. Like, we both really love Strange New Worlds. We really love it. And the actors, we think they're amazing. So we're very excited that we're getting more of that. But again, we just don't know when. But you know, anytime anything is revealed, like, TJ is on it. Like, keep an eye out on the Twitter page or on trekcentral.net because TJ is like a machine.
Yeah, and then we talk about it on the Sundays as well.
We do.
Just on Brad's point, blending parts of the D with the Titan bridge and the Enterprise bridge. Sorry, that really tickled.
Get your head out the gutter.
Well, we know that in the last episode of Picard season 3, that I think about a year had passed. It was a year, wasn't it?
I think so.
And in that time, obviously, Jack Crusher had got into the academy. They'd refitted the Titan and renamed it the G, and it's gone off into space. So it's out there doing its mission. So I guess that bridge that we saw in that last episode, which seemed pretty much like the same as it had been throughout the season, is going to be the bridge of the ship. Obviously, if they do get their own series, I imagine they'll make some changes, but I think it'll more or less stay in that modern style that we've seen it.
Yeah, I think so too. I also want Moopsy merch. I keep seeing things that look like Moopsy, but they're not Moopsy. But I'm like, I want a proper actual Moopsy plushie. Like, I need
Moopsy saw a... Well, I was going to say, oh my god, I literally can't stop saying Moopsy. TJ saw a Moopsy in Japan, but didn't buy it. I couldn't have shown that level of restraint.
I would have bought it.
Yeah. Absolutely would have bought it.
I just love Moopsy so much. One day I will have Moopsy, and I will have them on display in the background. But, you know, maybe when I finally learn to crochet, I'll make my
Moopsy.
own. Moopsy. I hope that the last season of Discovery is so good. We'll either in the future start another continuation, 2 more series, or make films, because you love Discovery. I love Discovery too, Jim. I don't like Michael. I've said this many times, but I love the rest of the Discovery crew very much. I know we're obviously getting Star Trek Academy, Starfleet Academy, with Tilly. We don't know anything else about that yet. They've been very tight-lipped on it, to be honest with you.
I really don't think they're very far into the process.
Yeah.
They're probably still in the early stages of writing it, and that may have been, well, that will have been impacted by the strikes and stuff. So I very much doubt that they're very far into it. They have acknowledged it's still a thing, so we know that it's somehow working.
It's still being.
I mean, you know my feelings on the 32nd century.
I know you don't care for it, but I just love Saru. Saru's my boy. I also like the Admiral that used to be in the Mummy.
The Dadmiral.
The Dadmiral, he's hot.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess I like it enough. It's just I don't love it. You know, like I'm just not compelled by it at all.
I just don't like Michael. That's the only thing.
I don't like any of the storytelling.
Oh, I do.
Don't like these constant. It's exhausting. Like I don't like all this universe-ending bollocks.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
I didn't like. I didn't like the burn. I didn't like the stupidly massive 10C thing that was blowing up planets for no reason. Just happened to come along to be another universe-ending.
That was pretty.
Didn't like any of this stuff. I loved the control stuff.
That was great.
I feel like in a way that linked in with Picard season 1.
Yeah.
Loved that. I thought the final battle of that season where they
season 2 finale was one of the best ever. Yeah,
season 2 was my favourite season of Discovery.
That finale, was one of the best ever TV show finales I've ever seen. It was freaking phenomenal, and it looked like it had a movie budget. It was
exactly.
So
but
good.
Ever since they went to the future, I am just so uninterested. Like they visit so few legacy planets, it's unreal. Like we've obviously been to Earth. They did take a bold swing, integrating Romulan and Vulcus into Navarre. I will give them that. They took a wide swing. They did a great bit of linking back nostalgia with Spock, and was it Redemption? No, that's the Klingon one.
Klingon.
You know what I mean. That one. Unification. There we go. They did visit Trill, but it's like we still don't know what's going on with the Klingons.
Yeah.
We still don't know what's going on with Bajor.
Yeah.
if Deep Space Nine exists anymore. Like, I just want them to fill in all the gaps in the universe, but they are too chicken shit to do it. They won't commit to anything. They won't give us any information so that we can go out there and think, oh, this is what's happening with the universe. Do the Borg still exist? Still exist? You know, like, it's just lazy. And you must think, like, the Discovery crew have gone through all that rehabilitation, so they know everything.
And we don't.
They know what's gone on with... Yeah, we know nothing. And it's frustrating storytelling. And it makes me mad.
It does. Yeah, I can see that side of it. I can. I just really like a lot of the characters.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a much more down-to-earth final season.
Hopefully.
Give the fans what they want.
Hopefully.
No more universe-ending threats.
I'm hoping for more Booker, because I love Booker.
Yes, Book's back. And I'm so happy to see Book, because I love him. He's amazing.
He's an amazing character. He's really, really good. He's gorgeous, too. It's a handsome man. But yeah, anyway, right, so
oh yeah, we've got to finish this episode, haven't we?
Well, we kind of
We went off on our legendary tangent.
We do go on tangents a lot.
They take back that Klingon ship, and they get out of there, but Mariner gets beamed off. I guess at the same time as Mariner is beamed off onto this mysterious ship that's been going around, Freeman and co. walk into Locarno's workshop, find the plans for this mysterious ship, and realize it's been him, or he's at least part of it.
Part of it, yeah. We don't know if it was definitely him.
Yeah, and then he appears through the door and talks to Mariner.
And then we get to be continued. Is there a picture of that?
To be continued. Now, a exclusive clip has been...
I saw it. I watched
the finale episode. You've watched it as well. So, we can break that down whilst we're talking about it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an extended conversation. It's a bit of a conversation between Locarno and Mariner. You really do learn that they were at the academy at the same time somehow, whatever. They weren't friends. They barely knew each other. So I very much feel like Mariner was Sito's friend, wasn't a part of the squadron, and wasn't really connected with that group at all.
But I also
Sito went off to a different posting on the Enterprise.
One thing I do like about that is that I think that's another reason why Freeman was so wanting not to send Mariner on anything to do with this, because she would have known that she would have known Nick, like even distantly, like she would have known that. So I thought that was a nice little sort of rounded.
The only way
there.
this kind of works is if Mariner was older than Sito and a couple years ahead of her in the academy, because we know that she heard that she went off to the Enterprise and then she heard what happened to her friend. So and we learn that Locarno, he has designed the ship, and a group of people have been causing trouble and stirring up things. They have some plans, basically, and they wanted to recruit Mariner. Now, I do think this seems a little bit of a retread of the season 3 finale stuff where Mariner was with Petra Aberdeen, the archaeologist.
Yeah.
Obviously, that wasn't really her choice. She was kind of, sent off to Starbase 80. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a bit. I'm not sure. I am hoping that Mariner is going to kind of be her mum in this situation and play him and play along, but actually be getting information to give back to Freeman and the rest of Starfleet. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't think she's going to be remotely interested in joining up. I don't think so too. Especially after what she's just been through on the planet with the Klingon and everybody else, and like having that bond form with him, and like I don't see her being remotely interested in this. I actually feel like the kind of playing along with it, kind of scam thing, is actually Mariner's kind of way of playing it. Yeah, I guess. And Freeman's has
picked
learned
up on it.
From her. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. Which I again like. I like that. That's nice. I'm missed a couple of things in chat as well. Actually, somebody asked us what our best Star Trek PC game is. We'll do that at the end. Okay. Also,
Ryan saying his prediction, if his prediction is correct, it does kind of explain how Locarno designed an OP ship. So I think we'll get all of that explained. I still feel like Locarno isn't the mastermind behind all of this.
No, I don't think he will be at all. He's
just a pawn and part of it. I feel like there's going to be another reveal, and it will be somebody else that has been the mastermind of everything. I
think I expect a whole range of cameos next week.
Yeah, that's what I think.
All different shows, all different series.
Yeah.
I really do expect quite a few known people to crop up in this.
Yeah, I do. And I'm really hoping like that they make sense and they're not just forced like I felt Sito was, because up until this point all of the cameos we've had I think have been great. So I'm hoping that we go back to that kind of things. Shapeshifters is interesting, especially in light of Picard season 3.
I don't know, I feel like because at this point how many years has passed since the Dominion War? Like maybe no more than 5.
Not a lot. Yeah,
between 3 and 5 years have passed between the Dominion War ending. I think the changelings at this point in the timeline are very much staying in the Gamma Quadrant, out of the way.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah,
definitely think I
lying low.
I would love to speculate about who's involved. Like who are some like disgraced former Starfleet people who you think could be
oh, that's interesting. Kind of yeah.
Eddington's dead, right, from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Eddington's dead.
It's already gone.
What about? Oh my god! Do you know who I would love to lead the this group of like rebels?
Go on then. Who?
So, hear me out, right? For a group of shady individuals, you need a Badmiral, right?
Okay, I know where you're going. Yeah.
What about Riker's commanding officer from the Pegasus?
Yeah, that would be a
John
good
Locke
throwback.
From Lost.
Yeah,
he's a fantastic actor.
You have mentioned how much you love him before.
I would indeed. Hamish! Hi Hamish, good to see you. Hamish has been helping us all weekend, like filming, taking pictures, and just helping us ferry stuff around. A pleasure to meet you. Can't wait to see you again. I hope you got back safely. So amazing to see you. Say hi to Jack as well for us.
You live with Jack, right? You're Jack's friend. Am I right? Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm thinking of the right person. Good.
Brad says the big mastermind of Janeway in Paris, Salamander Kids. I mean, they're in the Delta Quadrant. I don't know. Don't know about that. Oh, what about Kess?
Oh!
What about Kess? Bring Kess
There's
back.
A lot of opportunity here, to be fair. There's a lot of opportunity here.
So many opportunities. I am really expecting them to pull out all the stops for this finale and just bring back so many like past characters from all series, please.
Yeah.
Q2.
Oh, if it was Q related, I would die. I would die. I would just be too excited. Hi, Lolly. Yeah.
Hi, Lolly. Welcome in.
I'm very much looking forward to the finale. I think every single finale so far has been like A grade. They've been so good.
There's also been visually stunning.
Oh yeah, and every year it feels like the budget has just gone through the roof each time because I'm like, how have they made it so gorgeous? Like, so yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that it continues with the positive things of this week rather than the random things. I'm hoping that Mariner continues with the trajectory she was on after she made her like admission of what was going on, because you're right, she was great in the second part of that episode. So I'm really hoping
as soon as they got past that iffy writing, like I've been in two minds, because I feel like now that's done, it's gonna get better again. Like they're gonna recover from it. I have enough faith in the Lower Decks writing team that they will stick to the landing, because generally their season finales have been excellent. You think season 1, you had the Titan for the on-screen for the first time. Season 2, you had the cliffhanger of Freeman getting carted off in James. Season 3, you got the Texas class battles, destroying crippling a starbase, a sovereign class vessel, all that kind of stuff. I don't think they're going to spare us any spectacle this time. They're going to make it big.
Yeah, I think it will be huge. And also because, don't know if you guys saw any of it during the year, but like the people who make Lower Decks were very much talking about, in light of what happened with Prodigy, like if you want there to be a season 5 of Lower Decks, now is the time to say how much you love it. So I feel like
confirmed.
but during the season, they were saying that. And I feel like they would have put everything they had into this finale to make sure that the network knows how good it can be. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think Lower Decks is in danger of falling into the same problems that Prodigy did.
No, obviously, but they did. They were afraid of it, and they were very vocal about it during the season. So they wanted to make sure. Oh
my God, Liam Shaw! Give us Liam Shaw in his unevolved form.
Younger Shaw. I honestly.
Oh my God! Please do that.
He's just been to Hobbiton in real life, and I have been living for all of his photos of him in New Zealand. And he got a Hobbit tattoo, and I was like, I just love this guy.
I love him. He's such a fun person. Like
he is. So he's brilliant, and he was so good, so good. So yeah, that would be cool. That would be really.
I've just had a flashback to the panel yesterday. We were all kind of like discussing Trek captains and gauging the audience's interest in how we liked him, and I was like, "Do we like Liam Shaw?" And they were all like, "Yeah," and I was like, "No." And everyone laughed. It was so funny. I led them right down the path, and they fell in my trap.
He was a great character. I really enjoyed him.
He was that. Oh, absolutely fantastic writing with that character. Honestly,
yeah,
that is how you take trauma and do it well.
Yeah,
it made sense with his timeline. And it made sense with the story.
It made sense with how he behaved all the way through since we met him. Like, he was consistent with who he was.
Doesn't make it okay,
no,
but we understand him better.
Yeah, exactly.
And he redeemed himself in the end.
Yes, he did. His relationship with Seven was very interesting to watch throughout that whole season. I think that was a great arc, and I really enjoyed it.
And who wasn't absolutely bawling their eyes out watching his review of Seven at the end of the season?
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The fact that the last season of Picard was the big Next Generation reunion, and was even able to be one of the biggest and he was able to be one of the biggest standouts. Amazing. Yeah, exactly. Like, to have like that legacy cast and to have the love that we all have for them, and then him still be able to basically like steal the show.
And Michelle Hurd.
Yeah.
And Jack Crusher also smashing it too. I think, and me and TJ had a long discussion on what we thought of, Picard Season 3. And I will stand up for it. I do love that it is so nostalgic. I don't care that it's, the writer's fan fiction.
I loved
it. Maybe they shoehorned it. I loved it.
I will argue this
for me, it
forever.
Worked.
I loved
it. I'm not gonna overthink it. I think they did some fantastic things.
Yeah, I get Jack's point of view on it.
Leaps. Yeah.
But I was literally in tears every episode. Like I was the kid that grew up on Next Generation. Generation was my introduction to Star Trek. It was my introduction into being a nerd, like ever, and sci-fi and whatever. And it just meant so much to me to have them back. Like
everyone thought when Shaw got knocked out on the bridge and was bleeding everywhere that he was gone.
Yeah.
That was him dead. But no, he survived most of the season.
Yeah.
And I was very sad that they did choose to kill him.
I was very sad too.
They have hinted that if Legacy does happen, that he will come back.
They'll find a way of bringing him back. Yeah, or it will be like flashbacks and he'll be in it. I don't know how they'll do it, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Love seeing Twitter grow to love him in real time. Brad, it was beautiful. It was great. I really enjoyed that. We all
went on a journey together through that season. Yeah. Honestly.
That was one of those times, like in nerd culture, where everybody comes together and like experiences it at the same time, and it was beautiful. Like the thing, like in modern TV shows is when things are bingeable, everybody watches them at their own pace. So some people will watch them straight away. Some people will wait until like the Christmas holidays and watch things, and you don't have that same like each week thing that we got with Picard, and I think it was just really special because more people were watching it than watched Lower Decks, for example, and you know, old fans and new fans alike were into it, and it was magic. It was a magic time.
Jonathan, did you have quite a late introduction into Star Trek then? I did play Magic at school, but I don't remember anything about it other than that. But Hollow Shore, I would love to see.
Hollow Shore, yes!
Imagine him being an engineer and trying to save his consciousness.
Oh, man.
That'd be really
Hollow Janeway is literally one of my favourite characters of all time. So Hollow Shore, I would be down for. Oh, right, going back to that game question, because I've just thought of something. There was a next generation game on the NES. I think it was 94 or something. It was really old. But my cousins had the NES. You know how long I
can talk about Star Trek games.
I know. But my cousins had the NES and they didn't like Star Trek. And I remember buying this game for their console, like going to their house and playing it. And that was one of my first, I completed a game as a kid. Like I was 6 when that came out, I think, maybe 5. And that was one of my first ever, played from beginning to end of a game. And I still remember that now. Like I still have really, really vivid memories of it. So
all my friends had all the consoles and stuff, but I had a PC, and I played some good stuff. Like honestly, the early games like Final Unity, the Generations, the joint Lincoln game was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The voice acting and the cutscenes, everything about that game was amazing. And obviously, of course, if you missed it a couple of weeks ago, you'll find it on the channel. We did a Trek Central playthrough of Star Trek Infinite.
Yeah.
So it was Jack, Dom, Adam, and me. We all played a faction and we played against each other. It was really, really fun. There are some bugs. They're still early in the development process, but I would say keep up with their development blogs. They're a really interesting read. They're working on some bug fixes, some game improvements, but they're already thinking about new things they can add to the game. So
yeah, which I think is really cool.
Jonathan says parents were both Trekkies, so I resisted.
I
was the other way around. I was the Trekkie, and I forced my parents to watch all the Treks.
Oh, my mum's always been a Trekkie. She's such a nerd.
Yeah,
I love my mum.
My uncle was the Trekkie, so I always loved talking Trek with him, whenever he was around. But my favorite Star Trek game will always be Voyager Elite Force, the first one.
Yeah, I've not played that. I've not played it.
It's just surreal. The first mission is a training mission. But the first proper mission has you kind of roaming the corridors of Voyager as it's under attack, and it is just epic. That is the only way to describe it. It is absolutely epic. And obviously the second one, you're on the Enterprise E after the events of Nemesis. So the first mission takes place on the Borg sphere that Voyager is trapped in.
Oh, cool!
So the link in is that the Hazard team are the ones who actually free Voyager for that.
Okay,
amazing.
That's cool.
The tie-ins in this game were amazing. Yes, brilliant game. And Rick in chat also said, is Zachary Quinto out of Spock? So far as we know, there is no Star Trek 4 in
They kept
the
saying they
Kelvin
were going to do
universe.
it, and then they just haven't. And
yeah. By they, we mean Paramount.
On. Yeah, everyone's moved on. Zach's been in American Horror Story for years at this point. I don't know. I don't think they're going to. What I find really funny now is that so I used to watch Heroes back in the day, and Quinto was the main bad guy in Heroes, and then he was Spock. But then going back now and watching American Horror Story, I'm like, Spock, stop being evil. What are you doing? You're Spock.
He will always be Siler to me. He was an incredible villain in that show.
He was brilliant. Yeah,
I loved it, and it was such a great show as well because it had Nichelle Nichols in it. So.
I loved that show. I loved that show.
It.
The writers' strike.
So John says your father worked at Comic Con before it became a commercial monster. A commercial monster, it definitely is. But
wow!
So we are very appreciative of being along as creators and panelists. So, it's because I have this Star Trek name tag. It's oh my god, that looks awesome. I would like to make it our mission as Trek Central to amp up the amount of Star Trek representation that is at Comic Con.
Yeah.
So I think ahead of the next one, when it's confirmed, if we're doing something, when we're doing something, because we absolutely want to, we'll make sure that we get plenty of messages out to try and get as many of us down there as possible.
Yeah.
Get us all dressed up, and make it bigger and better than the next time.
Do a big cosplay competition.
Yeah,
and,
I'd love to see more vendors doing Star Trek stuff, but honestly, Paramount, they just don't put out enough general merchandise. They put out all these figures and models, collectible stuff, but they just don't put out general merchandise. You think of Star Wars, you've got all your talking stuff, you've got your lightsabers, you've got all this merchandise.
Toys.
Toys. Yeah, Star Trek doesn't do toys for adults. Toys. Oh my god. Star Trek doesn't do the same thing. If you want, shut up. Now that Eagle Moss has gone down as well, like you've got them rare collectibles and stuff, but you have to rely on stop laughing at me. You have to rely on people actually making the merchandise themselves, like the person off Etsy I got. You're still laughing at me.
I'm not.
You've still got you've got the stuff on Etsy, like the TATH I call it, or the awesome crochet dolls that I got.
At EGX, there was someone who hand painted a bunch of Trek ships on canvases. That was pretty cool.
I love that.
That was pretty cool.
There needs to be more of it because Star Wars dominates that space.
Yeah, and to be honest, I reckon there are more Trekkies than there are Star Wars fans, to be honest. So, I think that the audience is there to buy it. It's just dumb. Like, I would have plushies of all of the cute monsters, like, all of them.
Oh, that's been a Lower Deck thing. But Magatu, Gamatu.
Yeah. There's I don't know. I feel like
I can never look at a Magatu the same way again. Lower Decks.
Oh, look at everybody loving Elite Force in the chat. Everyone's like, Elite Force is the best one. Elite Force
is amazing. If we could, I'd love to do a playthrough of that game because it's just insanely
we need to do some more gaming content. We should definitely do that. No, we're in the UK. We're in the UK, John.
Yes,
we are a UK channel. The only person that's not in the UK is Adam. Who is British though, so but yeah, we are definitely a UK channel. Bear scorned because what happened to the Next Generation toys in the 90s? Oh, what happened to the Next Generation toys in the 90s?
I mean, I still have the Enterprise D, but it doesn't work anymore. Like the lights
sad.
and stuff and sounds don't work anymore.
That's sad. Yeah, I know. We need a proper Moopsy plushie. Like, you guys don't understand how much I want one. Like, I'm
fairly certain I've still got the CDs down there, but I don't actually have a CD drive or a DVD drive in my PC anymore. So I can't run them. They are there.
They just exist.
I would have to go on God.
TJ's coming in with a giant Moopsy.
Moopsy.
You got it on
I
God?
just love because on my second monitor, TJ's just been feeding me intel on the other screen. But yeah.
Anyway, with that, we will say that make sure you keep an eye on all of the Trek Central socials. We're on everything. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Insta. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, which is not X because I will never call it that.
Oh, it's Jack.
Oh, it's Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack. This is your captain speaking. So yeah, keep an eye on everything like that because, like we said earlier, anytime there is any news, like TJ is on it. She's always ready. So anything that gets announced during the week will be on there, and then we will be back on Sunday, and we will be discussing all of the news that goes on during the week, and also
absolutely yes, there was a finale, and it was excellent. So we've got the finale of Lower Decks next week.
Yeah.
Yes, we will see you there for that. Please give the stream a like because we would love this content to reach more Star Trek fans, especially live as well. Throughout the week, we'll be watching. We'll be
in the comments.
Keep on checking back for comments. So we'll be in the comments all week chatting with you. So feel free to let us know what your favorite moments of the week were.
Yeah.
If you were at MCM, did you love meeting us? What was your favorite moment? And yeah.
And what do you want to see at future cons as well?
Oh,
like, what do you want to see us do in the future? Because we would love to hear that.
Yeah. I personally would love to see some Trek names appear, but it's I don't know. I don't know how big MCM is to names like that. But
I mean, it is pretty big. But yeah, let us know what you want to see in the future. We are always checking these comments. So if you're watching in the VOD, we know a lot of people do watch the VOD and aren't around when we're actually live. So thank you. We appreciate you. We see you please do leave a comment. We'd love to get to know you guys as well as we know the people in chat now, because it's genuinely part of the best bit of the job is getting to know this community. We adore you, and we want to get to know you better. So come and chat to us in the comment section, and also make sure you keep an eye on the channel for the rest of the week, because there's always awesome content going out during the week. The guys in the team blow me away every week with everything that they make. What are you laughing at now?
So we went out to dinner on Friday night, and it was like all you can eat steak. Watching Hamish just eat superhuman amounts of food was just absolute, and watching him suffer afterwards. Sorry, Hamish. It was.
I'm sad I missed that. I'm sad I missed that.
And now Jack's having a chuckle because it was absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Jack! No! No! Why would you say that, babe? No.
Yeah, he was gone. He was gone for a long time, multiple times.
Oh
so.
man.
Yeah. On that note, where can people find you on the
you.
internet land? Because we're always posting all through the week about all of the stuff we do.
Yeah, we are. So I am at Jarvducer over on the Twitters. I am on everything else is at Jarvducer too, but I'm mostly on the Twitters and on Discord. You can find me in our public facing Trek Central server. I like to come in there and have a chat with you guys as well. But yeah, anytime the Trek Central posts on Twitter, both of us will be found retweeting and talking about it. And what about you? Where are you found?
I can be found on Get Mic'd on Twitch and Blue Sky, and Get Mic'd OW on Instagram and Twitter.
I knew Mike was laughing at that, and then Jack points out as well, I hate you both. I hate you both.
No, you don't. You love us.
Leave me alone. Right, I'm going. See you next week, you beautiful lot.
We'll see you
Live
next
long
week.
and prosper.
See you later, guys.